What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And Bitcoin has gotten absolutely crushed over the past couple months. As you guys know, cryptocurrencies have been crushing it, altcoins have been crushing it, Bitcoin alone was crushing it. We've all seen the bullish run, we've all heard of it. Hell, we've probably all talked about it. But the main question is right now, when is Bitcoin going to bounce and when is Bitcoin going to stop in the current downfall that we're seeing right now? So what we're looking at here is a chart of Bitcoin. I have it up. We're going to go through an analysis on Bitcoin and give you guys my best representation of what is going to happen here in just a second. So first things we're going to start off with is we're going to look at this relative strength index down here on the bottom. If you're new to trading, new to investing, never opened up a stock chart platform once in your life, well, this could be arguably slightly confusing, but I'll try to make it simple. So this little jaggedy, squiggly magoo line you see down here, that's called the relative strength index, and it's really just an indicator you're able to apply to a chart to give you some sort of visual as to what might be happening to the stock or what might be happening to Bitcoin, looking at it from a momentum perspective. So this little squiggly thing down here, this is a momentum trend line, all right? And what this momentum trend line can do for us is it can give us something called a divergence. Now what that is pretty much almost like an anomaly. It shouldn't be happening, right? And let me explain. So when we look at the price of Bitcoin, you will see that we had breached this high of 42,000, almost 43,000, okay? And this was back, months ago, all right? Now, if you see, it continued to go higher into new all-time highs for a couple months. Simultaneously, as it was going into new highs for many months, you'd look down here on the chart and you would see that the momentum had actually been going down for many months. So the same time that the Bitcoin price is booming to all-time highs, ripping faces off, making new millionaires, billionaires even, it was also trending downwards in momentum. So think about that. As the market's trending up, the momentum is trending down. So that is when we're getting an opposing argument in the market. So that's something that you can use RSI for every single day on any single equity, on any single thing that moves around all the time like a stock, all right? So with Bitcoin, we had seen all-time high pushes, decreasing momentum or downtrending momentum, and that's a divergence. And in this case, it was on the bear side, and that was the early signal that this market was going to be rolling over on Bitcoin. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the long-term trend. So this is a one-year day chart or a one-year, one-day chart. This is a long-term trend. So today, the price of Bitcoin has dropped down to our first low-risk buying point. So we're already buying Bitcoin today. So you'll see that Bitcoin has rolled over, and you see this purple line, and then you see that orange line. This was our first low-risk buy point. So back when Bitcoin was here and back when Bitcoin was here and it was coming down here, what we wanted to see was Bitcoin hit down to prices of 37,500. This was also posted on our morning watch list just a couple days ago. So right now we are looking at being more bullish on Bitcoin for the time being. And the reason that is essentially Bitcoin has gone all the way up. It did its divergence. It broke down, and it's come down to its new long-term trending support line. Oftentimes, we're going to see the market get bought here, bounce here, and or supported and try to reverse the market. Now, many times, the reverse could fail, and Bitcoin could continue going down lower, but usually that's not going to happen without at least trying. So if you know where these points are that people are going to at least try to reverse the market, then a lot of times you'll get in at a low risk bounce for a counter trend bounce or the start of a new trend. Not all the time will you buy and it be the perfect buy point and it kickstarts into a new primary trend. Many times you could buy and it just does a nice little bounce before reversing back downwards. So the nice thing is if you're able to find these low risk starting points that even if the trade was wrong and you don't get into a new primary trend, you'll normally have a green trade or your entry is so low or so low risk that even if it's wrong, you can still squeak out with a win or a very small loss. So as we look at Bitcoin here on this long-term chart, let's zoom in for you guys. So first things we're going to do is we are going to add a price level right here across that trend line. So let's do that. We're going to add a horizontal price level right here at 37,600, 500. Now when we go look at the 1 minute chart, look at what's happening as we kind of trade around that price. Sure, we did break it, snap down a little lower, but you can see, look at all the buying volume coming in this area. Look at how quickly the market reversed once we kind of got to this price, broke through. We're already starting to bounce back up. So this tells me that there are buyers located at these prices that are willing to buy the market up. So I already entered a long position into Bitcoin right here at this price. I didn't quite get the bottom, but I got in about right there. So currently already long the market on Bitcoin into this drop. So let me give you guys another outlook on Bitcoin. So in the event that Bitcoin does not bottom here, which I strongly think we're going to bottom for the time being, but if in the event somehow it does not bottom here and it continues lower, then our next low risk buy point for Bitcoin is going to be all the way down at 26,000. Now, do I think it's going to get there? No, I don't. But if we did see Bitcoin somehow roll over to 26,000, we would be taking a very big long position in that area. Now, the only reason we kind of think it's possible to do that is if you look back at the chart here on Bitcoin, there's a very big gap fill in the chart for Bitcoin at 26,000 to 23,000, or well, 26,000 to closer to 24, but either way. So there is a gap in the chart that has yet to be filled on Bitcoin, which could very well happen. So if in the event somehow we don't support and do not hold in the 37,500 for Bitcoin, and then we see the price of Bitcoin get slammed down into areas of 26,000 to 24,000, you would want to be extremely long biased Bitcoin prices there. So if we fall to 26, 25, you can be sure I'm going to scoop myself up a full biddy. Okay? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to come on, give you guys a very quick analysis as to where we are buying on Bitcoin for the time being. Now let's give you the sell point as to where we think it can go to if we are correct. So the first thing that we're going to do on this reversal, if it's correct, is we might look to fill the gap. That's a first kind of go-to potential trade, is filling the gap all the way back up to 48,300 on Bitcoin. The second thing might just be getting back to the deviation trend, which is this dotted line that comes into play at 46,000, 47,000. The next thing would be going and analyzing a 4-hour chart and picking our next trend line, which is at 44,000. So the way that we would look at this is on the way back up right now for Bitcoin, we would look to basically call this 1. So target 1, this would be, I guess you could call it target 2. And this would be target 3. As in, this would be the this would be the easiest target to obtain. This would be the second easiest and third easiest, or this would be, harder, harder, harder. So with that being said, we're going to look for a long move on Bitcoin around this area back up to about 45,000. We figured that that's probably the counter trend reverse point back up to here. All right. So right now, that is the analysis. That is a trade being long biased Bitcoin, looking for moves back to 45,000 or so, slightly higher, maybe to 48,000. Also willing to see it all the way down to 24,000 without even closing the long position and just buying more. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you learned something new. Make sure to smash the thumbs up button, hit the notification bell after subscribing, and then making sure you tune in whenever we basically post a new video. With that being said, we'll see you guys in the next video. Everybody, take care.